My name's David Greig and I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for about 35 years. I work at South Coast Law Group. I'm also a mediator. And the purpose of this clip is to help explain to people why mediation is a viable dispute resolution method. Mediation is a process that lends itself to all sorts of disputes. Some common examples would be family law, car crash cases, and estate litigation. I like to tell people that mediation is faster, cheaper, and kinder. I think it's faster than most of the alternatives, including litigation, because it can be arranged in a week or two and concluded in a day or two. Very few of my mediations go more than one day. It's kinder to people, I think, because in the process, there is no cross-examination. People come and tell me their story, and I accept what they have to say, not blindly, but I accept what they have to say, and no one is testing their credibility or accusing them of being misleading. That's not the process in the courtroom. Somebody will be going through your credit card statements and your bank statements and your behavior over the last few years. We don't do that. I'm not judging people in a mediation. I'm trying to help them find their own solution. And it doesn't matter how the process unfolds as long as it's courteous and respectful. More than 90% of them find a way to solve it in that day in a way that is comfortable for them. So I think it's kinder from that perspective. The other thing is that at the end of the mediation, people usually leave without that anxiety, with a sense that it's over and it's finished and they've made their deal and they're going to go on with the promises that they've made and the thing that I've recorded in writing. At the end of a trial, you're usually waiting. You're waiting for the judgment, and then you're waiting to see if somebody appeals. So mediation has that finality to it. That's an attractive part of it. So one of the other advantages to mediation is that it can be done almost anywhere. Not long ago, I did one in a meeting room at a public library. So there's a flexibility there that you don't have when you're in the justice system. The other thing is the participants can choose the mediator. When you go to a courthouse to have your trial, the judge is selected for you. You ask a stranger who doesn't know anything about you or your family to impose a decision upon you. In our process, in mediation, you have the power. Mediation isn't controlled by any schedule of fees, and mediators can charge really whatever the market will bear. But a good rule of thumb is that a mediation is usually done at a cost of more than $1,000 and less than $10,000. And typically in my office, for instance, a family law mediation that's concluded in one day will be more than $2,500 and probably less than $5,000. That's split between the two parties, unless there's a reason why that shouldn't occur. In Supreme Court lawsuits, you can multiply that by 5 to 10 for a trial. People often ask me about the success of mediation, and it's anecdotal for me. There's no place where we keep a record book of which mediations work and which don't work. But I can tell you that in my office, more than 90% of the mediations I start settle. And that's not because I'm a genius or I have a magic wand. It's because I explain to the people about their need for motivation to find their own solution. I explain that litigation is not a practical alternative. And usually I'm able to impart that on people and say, look, you have 2 or 3 problems, but they're all resolvable by us today, here. And if we can resolve it, you can go away with a piece of paper that says what the deal is, and the case is over. I like to tell people that I think that mediation is faster, cheaper, and kinder.